I heard that there were soul food restaurants, and I asked who does the cooking. They said, well, there's somebody who just, got a book of recipes. I said, no, that's not it. And my mother was the buffer between me and the third member of our three-person family when it came to my choosing music as a career. You see, Lieutenant Captain Major Colonel Willliams didn't care that much for the idea of me having a musical career. Truth be told, he didn't care that much about music. But my mother wielded a lot of power in our family, and not just a little bit because she could kick his ass on the golf course. She had 7 holes in 1 in tournament golf, so my daddy stayed home and read a lot. He didn't have too much to say about his son's career, and actually, we just agreed to disagree. I didn't understand his career choice, and he didn't understand mine. So this song is for my mother. It was written for her, not so much about her, just in part. Or I would have included the part where in the early 1930s, she went down to the Lancaster County Airport, surrounded by all the cotton fields there. Her father was a cotton farmer, and there was the airport there, and a Music Your Heart came to town to tell us that there's a war brewing, and you kids need to turn your eyes to the skies and protect us from potential attack. My mother went up and met Amelia Earhart and was very moved by the experience. By the time 1938 came around, she was 17 years old and had become a pilot of a Piper Cub and was solo flying over those cotton fields. So that didn't make it into the song. That's why I bother you with that information now, because I can't resist telling you. So she was perfectly happy with me playing music. She liked my music. She liked it when I sat around and played classical music, which I loved to do, and jazz. I took up the trumpet. In fact, I don't know if you folks happened to be in Seattle in around 1961, but up on Union Street there was a beatnik coffee house called The End. And my band from Fort Lewis used to go up there and we would play. And I'd read poetry during the breaks. Ferlinghetti, Ginsberg, and all that stuff. And the people in Seattle, believing they understood Ferlinghetti and Ginsberg, would say quietly, way out, man. Yeah, I was an incipient beatnik back then. I put on a black beret and dark sunglasses and put a copy of Dharma Bums by Jack Kerouac in my hip pocket. I shove it up so people could see what I was reading. It's a little style over substance thing that kids get into. But when rock and roll came around in 1955, and then I took it up as a career in 1958. I was only 15, but I started making enough money to be out on my own. And there was some question as to how Lieutenant Captain Major Colonel Williams was going to handle this rock and roll thing. Well, my mother loved rock and roll, so you can imagine how things went. My career went along unimpeded by any of his dire economic warnings. Jack, I love you and I'll support you in everything you do, but I just really hate to see you die alone and broke on the streets. Check it out, Dad. Tell you what, I'll be 70 in December. Maybe I'll consider getting a job. So here's one from my mother, and it's got a little bit of a rock and roll backbeat because she liked rock and roll so much. On the golf course, they called her Lou. I called her Mama Lou. I'm not here, David.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
David just took a little solo there, but it was in the wrong key, or I'd have let him go on with it. In fact, David might be the only person in this room who ever actually met my mother.
You can't talk about me, I'm not in there.
I can talk about you all I want.
How about you and his mom?
Do you ever meet my mom, David? Oh, you're on the phone. Excuse me. Early Sunday morning, stretching and I'm yawning, and shaking off the night before. Somewhere in the dwelling, something mighty good is smelling. There's a racket on the kitchen floor. Mama's chopping wood and the fire's burning good. Kettle's bubbling on the eye. There's a ham in the oven. Mama's stirring something, son. Touch it and I'll tell you high. Oh, Mama Lou, I'm staying here with you. Cook me something sweet tonight. That old porch swing's creaking, Mama's tea kettle shrieking on a sunny Thanksgiving day. Wipe the smile off my face, cause Grandpa's saying grace, but any kid would rather eat than pray. I love my collard greens, I want some black-eyed peas, I want sweet potatoes on the side. Yes, and okra gets my vote if it slides down my throat, and of course I want my chicken fried. Oh, oh, Mama Lou, I'm staying here with you. Cook me something sweet tonight. Now the tea is double sweet. It cools me when I eat. Smell biscuits rising slow in the pan. Mama's cobbler full of berries, topped with ice cream and cherries, makes a beggar out of any man. My memories roam to that old family home where it smelled like heaven all the time. And Grandmama never changed from a fire to a range. That's music to this heart of mine. Oh, Mama Lou, I'm staying here with you. Cook me something sweet tonight. Play it, Jack. Okay. There's a pound cake baking. My taste buds are quaking. Mama's trickling lemon icing on top. I'd still be licking that bowl at 100 years old if Mama hadn't ever stopped. But stop, yes she did. And us broken-hearted kids, we never let a blessed word go by. And my Mama's gentle spirit didn't fly by and hear it raising love in us in reply. Oh, Mama Lou, I'm staying here with you. Cook me something sweet tonight. Cook me something sweet tonight. Something sweet tonight. I was 13 years old. I was in the back room practicing my trumpet. Let's see, if I pushed that up, say 13, 14, I might have been in Fort Lewis, Washington. No, it was later. Pardon me while I think through this one. Have to do the math. But at any rate, I thought I was going to be a famous jazz trumpet player. And my mother was supporting me all along the way, and she'd sit up in the front and she'd listen. Unlike most parents in our culture, she would leave the door open so she could hear me practice. I was pretty good at what I did, and she liked to hear it. When I played those old 40s and 30s tunes, show tunes, jazz tunes, those Stan Kenton, Duke Ellington, George Shearing, like I played. And I'd just be practicing way back there, and then I'd put the horn down. And then I did the thing that she loved the most, because I always did it after I practiced. The thing that I had learned from Louis and Ella, where you make music with yourself, and you don't need a lyric, you don't need an instrument, you don't need anything. All you got is you. You sit back there and go, just something everybody could do if you actually went home and tried. my mom.